It's a labor of love for Lorna Zambrano coming to work at this construction site in Antímano, west of Caracas. The 40-year-old single mom is in charge of gluing the tiles in the bathrooms for this building that will soon become her home. Lorna, who has been living in a shelter, uses her free time to work as part of the social housing project sponsored by the Venezuelan government.
I've never imagined that I would have to learn how to glue ceramic tiles. I'm a receptionist, that's my job, and the heaviest thing I ever lifted was a ballpoint pen.
Most workers here are women with no previous knowledge of masonry or construction materials. 8 years ago, these neighbors joined forces to build homes for their families. Now the plan is to complete 2 6-floor apartment buildings for 96 families.
How does this work? The state provides us the material and the resources, and we provide the labor to make the building.
According to official government figures, Venezuela's housing program called Gran Misión Vivienda Venezuela has built 4.4 million houses since 2011. The main goal is to reach 5 million by the end of 2024. There are no recent official figures on the deficit of housing units in the country. While the public sector claims to be meeting its goals, the Venezuelan Construction Chamber says the sector has suffered a sharp decline of 96% over the last decade, arguing a combination of factors led to the decline, including the country's hyperinflation, the coronavirus pandemic, government controls, and legal regulations for new projects. The Venezuelan Chamber of Construction says the current legal framework must change to encourage private investments. The legislation in place prohibits pre-sales of properties or loans paid in foreign currencies. Most of the construction activity passes through the control of the Venezuelan government.
The state is the great owner of the oil industry, of the steel industry, of the cement industry. It is also the great owner of the construction industry, leaving no space for private companies.
Some private development projects did take place in 2021. These high-rise office buildings and apartments were built in an upscale area of Venezuela's capital. However, the new buildings have not helped middle or lower-class Venezuelans. Like Pedro, who's living at his mother's house along with his wife and 2 daughters. It's a small 2-bedroom apartment, but it is his family's only choice for now. Despite having 2 jobs, Pedro is struggling to make ends meet, let alone be able to buy a house of his own.
It's hard because there's no purchasing power, and if there's no extra aid like a housing loan or access to a mortgage, it's difficult. Those are now restricted.
In Antímano, at least, there's hope for a group of Venezuelan families to secure a home. The first building is almost done, and they estimate it will be completed before the end of the year. Maritrini Mena, CGTN, Caracas.